Okay everyone, welcome back to the CPP for Beginners tutorial series. And this is the tutorial that should never be made. I'm making this for the 1 in maybe 100 million chance that someone out there is ever going to need this. I am going to begin by saying that this is an optional lesson. It is not going to be something that I cover in any serious amount of detail. It's just something that I want to show you guys. It's a very simple statement, and it's always used and always implemented wrong because there's always a better way to do it every single time. What I'm about here is undoubtedly the most controversial statement in all of programming. No matter which programming language you're doing, unless it's something along the lines of BASIC, this statement is almost universally outlawed. The reason why we use break, because breaks typically give us a cleaner sort of removal from a statement. So, without further ado, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to teach you guys the Goto statement. Now, the Goto statement is a lot like an internal naming inside of an HTML file. I'm not sure if any of you guys have programmed HTML, but say you have index.html, maybe pound name. Later on in the file, you designate where name would be, and it goes to that spot. It is no different in C++. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to create a little bit of code, and within that code, I'm going to use a goto. Now, I don't like it. I don't ever want to have to look back at this code again after this, as a matter of fact. The way I'm going to justify it is as a clean way to get out of more than one loop once a certain condition is met. If that is honestly the only reason you can even begin to justify using it. There is still other ways to do this using if statements, so this is still shaky. But without further ado, we're going to make a long and call it var1. Just, or you know what? Let's just call it a product. Long product equals 0. Okay, and we're also going to use two variables for this, but that's going to be in a sec. So we're going to create a variable, int I equals 0. I is less than I plus plus. And immediately we're going to nest another for loop, and we're going to say int j equals 0. J is less than 1,000. J plus plus. Now, oops, didn't quite want that. So, okay, what we have here is that was incorrect of me there. What we have here is a nested loop. And let's say we want to test for a condition that once it becomes true, actually, I'm just going to do one thing here and see out product at the bottom before I go any further. Okay, so let's say that we want to test for a condition, and if that condition is true, we're going to want to break out of this loop. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take product and make product equal to I times j. And then we're going to have a simple if statement. And it's going to be if product is greater than, let's 470,000. just because that's a big number. So we don't know how long we're going to be in this loop for. I mean, we could be in this loop for, you know, 500 iterations, 1,000 iterations. We don't know. We have no idea. Um, what we're going to do inside this if statement makes me sad. We're going to go to bottom. And then we're going to make a tag out here. We're going to call it bottom. And this is the label that coincides, I think I spelled that right. Yeah, with, and that's going to be our whole code right there. Now, a lot of people would say, well, you could use a break here, and then, you know, you could do the if statement, product, you know, and you could reuse that if statement here. And no, but then assume that you have a nested loop that's 5 levels deep, then you have to test it on every level. This is one of those times where the more nested you become, the more practical a Go becomes. There is almost never a time in a computer science course where you can justify using a Goto because of its reputation. That's just a warning for anyone going into the CS field. So, okay, you'll notice that these loops should execute just fine, and they're going to skip out once product is greater than 470,000. So, here we go. Coding conventions all just went out the window, and we have 470,058. And that, my friends, is Goto. It's not to be used lightly. It's not to be used for fun. Don't use it at all. Seriously, do not use this. I showed you so you know. Do not use it. Ever. I'm Damien with CPP for Beginners. Thanks for watching.